Hey everybody, it's Gus over at Askewed Reviews. And today it's a new episode of Creature Madness. And if you're uncertain what Creature Madness is, let me tell you what it's all about. My friend Matthew over at Horror Madness decided to bring a couple of his friends together for a movie club. And what we do is we all watch the same creature feature film, and then each of us gives our own review about the movie. Now, aside from myself and Matthew, the other members of this club are Ryan, Bambi, Amariah, Ashley, and Jen. And speaking of Jen, it was her turn this time to choose a movie for us to watch. And she chose the 1996 film The Ghost and the Darkness, directed by Stephen Hopkins. So I actually do remember watching this one when it came to theaters, and I even still enjoy it to this day. So here's the story for this film. We have our main character of Colonel John Patterson, played by Val Kilmer. Now, he is actually a bridge builder, and he's been hired to go to Africa and build a bridge across a river. So at first, everything's going great. The bridge is being built, the workers are doing a wonderful job, and John is getting excited to eventually see his child once he's done with all of this. One night, though, while everyone is sleeping, a lion manages to drag off one of the actual people from the camp. So John, who has had some hunting experience, decides to camp out in a tree that night and does manage to take that lion out. Things seem to go back to normal at first at that point. The only problem is, a little while later, there is now more lions that show up again that are attacking in the night and the day, and the worst part is they're not attacking for food, they're attacking just because they seem to enjoy it. Now, John makes multiple attempts to take out these lions by himself, but he just can't seem to do so. There almost seems like a supernatural element to them. Finally, a master huntsman named Remington shows up to help out, and he's played by Michael Douglas. So the two of them are now working together to try and take out these lions before everyone working on this bridge decides that it's too dangerous and just leaves. So, like I mentioned earlier, I do still enjoy this movie quite a bit. There are definitely some very slow moments, but in general, there's also some really tense ones which do kind of equal out. I thought Val Kilmer was really good in this movie, although I'm not a fan of his Irish accent, or at least if you want to call it that. Also, Michael Douglas does a great job, but I would have liked to have seen a bit more screen time from him, but it's still good. Another thing I have to say about this film is there are absolutely times where the CGI or the graphics that they use are pretty bad, but some of the practical moments or when they're using actual shots of lions, those are done very well. So I do recommend checking this one out for yourself. It's currently streaming for free on Pluto. And for me, on my scale, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. And now it's time for my segment in Creature Madness, where I talk a little bit more in depth about the creatures in the film. So, obviously, for this one, the creatures are just lions. Now, there may actually be a supernatural or some sort of otherworldly aspect to them, but it's never fully confirmed. But these in general are bloodthirsty. They're out to just take out humans whenever they can. So they're definitely a bit different from regular lions, who primarily will only attack if they're threatened or if they're very hungry. Now, here's something fascinating you may not know. This entire movie was based off of a true event. In fact, the lions involved have been stuffed, mounted, and put into a Chicago museum. I don't know if they're still there, though. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creature Madness. And if you'd like to see what everyone else in the group did for their review on this film, just look up the hashtag Creature Madness. Additionally, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. It's highly unfortunate that he just recently passed away, but what interesting timing that Jen chose this as the movie.